Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and another video. And this video, well, there you see the baby. Do you know what? It's race week and I've got to get this thing serviced and ready to race because the season is really about to begin. This morning I completed an hour and 50 minutes on the turbo. My last real race session, I suppose, because I'm now officially in taper mode, really, for the Outlaw Half in about 10 days time. But this weekend I take on Dorney Sprint Triathlon. It's the All Nations event. I've done it loads of times before. Always use it as my season opener. But I'm going to get this thing downstairs. It needs a really good service. I'm going to change the chain. Give it a good clean, check all the brakes, everything, so that it's ready to go. So I've got to go and get a few more bits and then we're ready to set up. And what I thought I'd do in this video as well is take you through some of the setup on my bike. I'm often asked what I ride, what kind of setup I have. I'm not going to go into too much detail, I'm not a massive bike nerd, but I will try and give you a lowdown as to what spec I ride on the bike as well. So here is my race bike. It's a Ceepo, well I think it's called Ceepo. I've never been 100% sure as to how you pronounce it, but a Ceepo Katana. It must be around 5 years old now and I built this bike up myself. I did look at this bike at the triathlon show over in London. However, it was going to cost me around £6 to get the race setup that I wanted. So I did a little bit shopping around, a little bit of research, and managed to find a company in the States that were getting ready for their new season and were getting rid of this bike. In fact, they were just selling the frame. I managed to persuade them to send it to me and send it to the UK. We did some dodginess around the taxes, and so I didn't have to pay loads, but it was all good. I got the frame, and yeah, I'd bought all the parts separately, in which I spent the winter building it up and getting it ready for the following season, which I think was the 2017 season. Okay, so let's look at some of these components and what I've put on it. So starting off with wheels, you can see here I have some Flow wheels, and Flow are an American company. I'm not going to go into too much detail about these, but I did a lot of research on the kind of wheels that I wanted. There is a 90 on the back and a 60 on the front. What else can I say about them? It's got an aluminium track, you might notice that. And when I purchased these, they did offer this, and I thought, well, all my bikes are, got aluminium wheels at the time. I didn't have any carbon wheels then, and decided to go with this track because of the extra braking performance with it. Weight-wise, it's marginal. It doesn't really add massive amounts of weight compared to a carbon rim, but yeah, overall really like these wheels. They hum or zoom or whatever you want to call them when you're on them, and really good wheels. So if we go down to the crankset, I'm riding a 52 on the front, and I have a crank-based power meter now. This was the first ever power meter I bought, and I was so impressed with it, and it's been so good that when I built my Canyon, I actually got the same power meter. It does mean you can't swap them out as easily as something like pedals, but to me, I've got the same on all bikes, so it doesn't really matter. Also, I think the crank length is 165, and obviously I'm using SDP pedals there. So, and onto my saddle, and you can see it's a T4. Now, I've been through a fair few saddles, particularly the ISM saddles, but actually it's taken me a while to find one that works for me, and this is perfect. I don't get any issues as I had in the past, so this is the one I stick with currently. So if we go to the cockpit of the bike, you'll notice here I'm fully Di2, and I've put Di2 shifters both on the bar ends and on the handlebars, just because to give me that range and not having to move your hands constantly wherever you are. The cockpit is fully carbon. You'll see I've got some zip bars as my base bars, and then profile design aero bars. The mounts or the elbow pads are also profile design as well. So fully integrated and fully carbon setup at the front end. You'll probably also notice the hydration tube, which I run on my Speedfill system. The actual bottle isn't on the bike at the moment, but that tube runs down into that. And it's a really good system. It holds about 1.5 litres. The tube is fairly flexible. It's got a wire in it, so you can bend it to whatever way you want. But I find it a really good setup. I do usually stick a bag on the bars just behind the stem, just to carry my gels in and those kind of things as well. So there you go, guys. There's my race bike and my setup and what I'll be racing on this season, and I have been for the past few. I'm really looking forward to Saturday. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. The weather's looking good, which is always nice. Last year at this race, it was pummeling it down with rain, windy, it was horrible. So yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be a nice change, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what I can do. I feel fit. I feel ready. It's going to be a good season. I can feel it. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave that video there. I hope you've enjoyed it, and do check back after the weekend. I will try and vlog a little bit for the race on Saturday, but you know, I'm going to be on my own, so it's going to be difficult to really capture the essence of the race and that kind of thing when I'm involved in it all. So yeah, we'll see what we can do, but check back soon and I'll give you an update on as to how that went.